Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brian with Exact Cybersecurity and IT. We're diving into a serious issue today affecting Patelco Credit Union and its members. We recently did a video on the fact that Patelco has faced a significant ransomware attack, and it's not only disrupted their services, but it's also now led to multiple lawsuits, which I warned about in my initial videos and all the time on this channel, that the thing that follows these ransomware attacks are massive lawsuits and class action lawsuits, depending on how big the company is. And there's a lot of different factors on where those lawsuits go, but we'll talk about what's going to happen here to Patelco in the video today. So, Patelco ransomware attack has left many of its members in a financial state of stress. The attack has disrupted online access to accounts, making it impossible for customers to manage their finances as usual. And in the aftermath, several lawsuits have been filed against Patelco, and these lawsuits allege that the credit union failed to properly secure its members' personal information, leading to the breach. It's certainly the case from what we can tell, but I'm here to tell you, and it's no secret if you're a fan of this channel, and we just crossed 5,000 subscribers. So I appreciate the support, everyone, and please remember to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when we put out videos like this one. So enough about that. Let's talk about one of the lawsuits aims to secure actual nominal and consequential damages from Patelco. This means that customers are not only seeking compensation for the immediate financial losses, but also the broader impact of their lives and how this has inconvenienced them in many ways. This is going to be interesting to see where this goes and to see how far some of these lawsuits go with Patelco. You know, I've already predicted that a lot of businesses are going to go out of business because of these cyber attacks. I was one of the first ones to come out publicly and say that Ascension was going to have a lot of problems maintaining their business and their hospitals after they were attacked, and sure enough, not a month later, they're trying to peel off hospitals so they can maintain their business. And that's what we see. Private equity companies, they get hit, they try to peel off pieces of the business so they can maintain things. And private equity, owns a lot of American businesses, and I think private equity is a big problem as to why these different organizations get hit with these attacks all the time that impact the public, like we see at Patelco. So let's talk about the response from Patelco, because that's really what we analyze here when we look at the things that are going on in the news and different places that we can find information about what's going on at Patelco. That gives us a really good insight into how this organization is responding and whether or not they were even prepared for this type of event in the first place. So we're going to talk about what Patelco has done to their customers in response to what they are dealing with right now, which is a lot of uncertainty. And when you're dealing with money and not being able to account for it, it makes it really hard to do business as normal. So we'll talk about that, but before we do, hey, if you're an IT professional and you want to turn your cybersecurity knowledge into real action at your company, join my Defend Your Business coaching program. I'm giving early adopters of this program a huge discount at $19 a month. Normally we're selling this at $99 a month. $19 a month, that's over 80% off. Learn the business side of cybersecurity. You got really smart, you got your certifications, you know how to do certain things, but your company just isn't doing these things. And quite frankly, we're not going to change this, and your company's not going to do any different unless you learn how to approach them about the skills that you have and what their risk is. So we teach you how to translate your skills into a business conversation with your company owners, your leadership, your decision makers, so you can become the champion in your company that your company needs for cybersecurity and to not end up like Patelco. There's links in the description and on the screen for more information. Hope to see you in the program. So let's get back to Patelco and their response to this situation. This attack has caused a major inconvenience for them. Patelco has imposed daily withdrawal limits to manage the situation, $2,500 for debit transaction with a signature, $500 for PIN and debit transactions, and $500 from ATMs. These are the daily limits. So if you need to withdraw more than that for something that you're doing, you can't do it. And there's a lot of people who have a lot of questions about where their money is and how much they have because they're not confident that this bank is able to keep tabs on this at this point. The limits have been a major issue and a source of frustration for the members. Imagine needing to pay for something important and suddenly finding out that you can't access your money. It's got to be extremely frustrating for these customers. So the impact of this cyber attack goes beyond, just accessing money. Daily banking activities have been disrupted, raising concerns about long-term effects on credit scores, on overall financial security with other lenders, other banks. If you make late payments because of this event, it could impact how lenders and how your current lenders and future lenders see you. And this is something that this bank is going to have to help you get right and fix and clean up. Some customers are worried about missing these time-sensitive payments. And again, it can lead to not only credit report damage, but additional fees, late fees, and things like that these customers will either have to pay or deal with in the short term while they work through this mess. And let's not forget the fear of their personal data being exposed to cyber criminals all over the web, including the dark web. In today's digital age, having your personal information compromised can lead to serious repercussions that I don't think most of the public is even aware of today, because identity theft, we're just scratching the surface for what it's going to become, in my opinion, with all of these cyber attacks. Because of these issues, many customers of Patelco are considering withdrawing their funds as soon as they can get their hands on them. And once they can do that, they will go to other banks and other banking facilities to do what they need to do. The loss of trust at Patelco has just been widespread, and people are not happy, unfortunately. So let's dig a little bit deeper into how Patelco is responding to this crisis. The credit union has managed to stabilize its network at this point. It's begun processing transaction again, and in a statement, CEO Erin Mendez assured its members that their money is safe and secure and accounted for. Hopefully that remains true. She emphasized that the restoration process is complex, I don't disagree with her, and requires careful, methodical work to ensure the future security of their systems is in play here, which is all the right things to say, quite frankly, from my standpoint. They don't want to rush to restore. They want to make sure they do it in the right way so they don't end up having another problem again down the road. And this does take time to come back. So the question becomes, for me, to members, if you're watching this video, if they're able to restore even after a long period of time, but everything's okay, and other than a minor inconvenience that they're terming this as right now, it might not be minor for you. So that's a question. Are you willing to go back to this bank if when they get everything back up and running, it seems like they have everything somewhat in order? Does that change your perspective, or has the damage already been done? We want to hear from you down in the comments below. But CEO Mendez also acknowledged the frustration and inconvenience caused by the breach, promised to keep members informed about the progress. And transparency is crucial in rebuilding trust with their members if they could ever get there, in my opinion. While Patelco works to fully recover from this attack, it's important for all of us to stay informed about the measures financial institutions are taking to protect our data. Cybersecurity is an ongoing battle, and incidents like this highlight the importance of robust cybersecurity practices. Cyber attacks today are impacting people's lives on a daily basis. These were things that, like when Colonial Pipeline happened, we used to look at from afar, and while there was a threat for the consumer not to be able to get some gas at some point, things worked out in the end. These cyber attacks are not playing out like Colonial Pipeline did. That was just kind of like the appetizer to the main course, and quite frankly, I don't even think we've hit the main course yet. We're still kind of going through the appetizers, the things like that before the main meal. I don't think we've seen the apex of cyber attacks or anywhere close to it. I think this is just the beginning of what companies are going to have to deal with and what people are going to have to deal with when their information and their work and their banks and their hospitals and the services and places that they rely on for their day-to-day, those things won't be available to them, and that's going to create a lot of frustration for a lot of people. Unfortunately, in this Patelco situation, you're going to want to bounce to another bank, but you have no way of telling if that that bank's any better security-wise, and if in a week, a month, and a year, it will happen to them too. Don't think that big companies are immune to this. Big companies are just as guilty of not doing cybersecurity just as small companies. The difference between small companies, from my perspective and conversations I have with business leaders, is that small companies really have the attitude that cyber criminals shouldn't be picking on them because they're small. That's the biggest lie that leaders tell themselves that I hear all the time. That's the biggest lie. You can't be telling yourself you're too small to be hacked. These cyber criminals don't care. A lot of times they don't care what network they're in until after they deploy the ransomware. And then they find out, oh, maybe we shouldn't attack these guys. Let's kind of, give them the ransomware keys so they can unlock their files. We feel bad for them. That happens occasionally with ransomware attacks, but in most cases it doesn't. While Patelco Credit Union is facing a challenging time with multiple lawsuits coming their way, the task of restoring full functionality to all their services, this cyber attack has had a profound impact on their members, from financial stress concerns about data security. And Patelco's response, led by CEO Erin Mendez, focused on ensuring the future security and trying to keep these members informed. Did she do a good job there? Do you think, as a member, they have provided you with enough information? Let us know in the comments below. Stay tuned to our channel for more updates on this situation. I'm sure we are just at the beginning of the updates. We will provide more updates on all the cyber attacks that we cover initially as best we can. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the support. 5,000 members. Never thought I'd get there. We'll see you in the next video. Stay safe out there, everyone.